welcome back to another Bandcamp Friday for September of 2022. It's going to be really short and sweet because it's just Michael and myself this month. Jeff, it's his birthday as we're recording this. I hope he is recovering well from a night of celebration. and
Yeah,
uh,
he's
and
still passed out for sure.
yeah, and Chris could not make it today, unfortunately. So you have punk as folk himself, Michael Grattan, and the struggling artist Trev Allen, and we're gonna stumble our way through this episode, this month's Bandcamp Friday picks.
I feel like this will be the least entertaining Bandcamp Friday ever.
All right. Well,
Got fucking monotone Michael and Trev.
am I monotone?
No, I was saying I'm
Oh.
monotone.
All right. Well, so Jeff this month picked our X Factor. He wanted to do solo artists, and we have a list for you. Should we go through theirs first and then do ours, or should we
We
do
could go through
ours?
theirs first.
All right, we're gonna do Chris's first. Maybe Jeff will show up in a little bit. All right. So, do you remember
We're
these at all?
start we're starting with Chris's, and I definitely did not get to one of them. Um,
Which one
yeah,
didn't you get to?
his local, his
Oh shit! All
local.
right.
For some reason, I don't know if I kept spelling it wrong, and I could not find it.
Yeah, I had a hard time finding it myself.
Chris's local pick is from Buffalo. It is Maya La Machia, All the Broken Parts.
I didn't have many. No, this was one of the ones I was hoping people would carry me through. I
Guys, this
had
is going to get better later.
hang with us, hang through it,
Promise.
hang with us to the end. Yeah, so I just wrote down like it was like a sweet lo-fi singer songwriter style, like I could see her sitting on a stool with a spotlight on her and a microphone in front of her, kind of thing.
It was a her, huh?
I think so.
I didn't know.
You didn't listen?
No, I've been looking for this dude all month, and
this person. Yeah, I think so. Unless I got my notes wrong, I'm not going to assume. Anyway, yeah. So it had
I never actually found this one. So
all right, all
yeah.
right. So that unfortunately that's all we got for that one. Let's go to his solo artist though, because I definitely have some stuff to say about Tyler Westcott's pandemic summer.
Right, which is 4 songs, correct?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah.
It I liked it. The guitar he like pick plays, right? So it's like
Yeah.
plucking strings as opposed as like strumming them along. I was totally into it. I could envision myself sitting on the back porch looking at a lake. Like it was cheeky lyrics with and like a folk bluesy sound music behind it. I don't think it's something that I could keep in rotation over and over, given its content, because like I really don't want to remember 2020. You know what I mean?
Right.
But for something that came out to kind of, I don't know, document what was going on at the time, I think this was perfect.
Yeah, I love this album. Like you said, the finger picking. I like the dichotomy where most of the subject matter was about something I think a lot of us would prefer not to remember, but it had like a nice cheery back porch in the summertime vibe to it.
Yeah, for sure. And like it definitely I want to hear more from him, right? I really like that style of like it's like I said, it's like a folky bluesy kind of thing, you
I
know?
was stoked that everybody kind of brought folk at like some sort of folk. I
Yeah,
was
for
super.
sure. For sure. It's what sucks about not having the other two on today is because like Jeff had said this a while back. Like sometimes we just hit, all of us just hit on the same kind of thing, and this is definitely one of those times. Hopefully, when they put the episodes out, they'll give like their summaries as well of what they thought of everything. But We'll
I feel
we'll
attacked right now because
what?
I don't do that when I can't make it
Oh,
like
I
last
wouldn't.
month.
I
I
probably.
just threw it up.
Yeah, I know that's fine. I wouldn't have done it either. If I miss one, I wouldn't do one. So,
I'll listen
uh,
to it though.
you want to go to Jeff's picks now?
Jeff's picks, yeah, actually, because Jeff was where Will Orchard Go Home Instead EP was his local pick.
But I have to ask Jeff. I wish Jeff was here. So this was his local pick, but this guy is claiming Nashville. So I want to know what the connection is. If it was somebody from here, or if somebody produced it from here. You know what I mean?
Or was it recorded locally, maybe?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know. Yeah, that's I want to know. I want to know the story behind it. Again, hopefully Jeff puts it in his intro when he puts this up.
I really wish I had my notes.
So the album's called Go Home Instead. It's an EP. It was very singer-songwriter, folky Americana music. It was good. It kind of reminded me of the Man with Song, Russ Condon. Like I've had his stuff
Yeah,
on before. It reminded me of kind of him and Luke Condon, his brother. Like it reminded me of like it kind of. I think you could put him into their band, and they would I think it would sound, he would do just fine with them, or like tour them together or whatever.
I love that single singer songwriter style of music, just the intimacy of it, the way that you're kind of putting yourself out there. You don't have a band to back you up. Yeah.
His X Factor was Julia Blair. Um,
Who has a fucking phenomenal voice. I
Absolutely.
was actually listening to her last night. Yeah.
What's it called? Better Out Than In, right?
Uh
I think that's what it's
yes.
called.
Better Out Than In is the album.
Yeah.
And it has a rad album cover. It's just like, oops, I'm just like playing it.
Oh, so there's a song on there called "Relax," right? Are you looking at the album right now?
Yeah, that was the song that
Yeah,
actually just started playing.
yeah. So I really like that song. I wish I wrote more notes. I wanted to go back and listen, and I just didn't get a chance to. Um, I kind of think like it's a kind of about like telling a woman to relax. Like you're not supposed to do that. Like, you know what I mean?
I really liked the lullaby songs. There were two lullaby songs on here. Um I like the way this whole album was recorded. I She has this very beautiful voice, but it almost sounds as if, and I don't know much about vocal production, but it kind of sounds like she's singing into a tin can. If
Mm.
that makes sense, there's that effect on her voice. I really enjoyed that. Yeah, I like this album a lot. I was again listening to it last night just for funsies.
It reminded me of like gospel style music
A little bit.
with a little jazz and a little soul kind of mixed in. No.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, I did. I wish I had a chance to go back. So we were supposed to
What
record
the
this
hell
like
was I calling it? I was calling it like techno folk last night.
yeah. We were supposed to record this like a week ago, and
A
I
week
was
ago, but I fucked that up.
not no, because Jeff couldn't make it either. So
That's true.
it was a group, so we just decided to like, all right, we can just push this until then, and it worked out for me because I had a ton of shit I had to do last weekend. But so like these songs were a lot fresher to me last week than they were this week, and the week got away from me, and I didn't get a chance to listen to everything. But here we are. We are at. You want to go yours next?
I want to go yeah,
All
we'll
right.
save yours for last because you actually brought my favorite pick.
Really? Okay.
Yes,
All right. We'll
by
get to that.
far.
We'll get to that then. All right.
Um,
So we'll do yours. What's your local?
so my local is the Extra Arms, and the album is the album
What is even
is.
happening right now? Now I'm not
Yeah,
asking you that. That's what the album's called.
what is even happening right now?
Yeah, yeah.
So I had no clue who these. Apparently, they've been around a while. They're from Detroit, Michigan. I went to a show a few weeks ago to see a bunch of my other local picks from previous months play, and they were on the bill. And they are hard to describe. Kind of, I call it. It's power pop with punk vibes. They got a little bit of electronic in there at times.
I'm gonna describe it perfectly for you when I'm up. So
Oh, okay.
yeah.
But I find the songwriting engaging. No, I feel like I'm just throwing out fucking adjectives. Um but yeah, I saw them play live and I had never heard them before. I really dug them, so I was like, this is my local pick for next month. And
Right
I've
on.
been enjoying listening to like not just this album but the rest of their catalog lately. It's a little more it's a little more poppy than I normally go, but I'm okay with that. Yeah.
Let's talk about that real quick. So you went and saw these guys with a bunch of other bands that you have had in previous picks, right? What were the bands?
I went Shitty Neighbors actually was my first Bandcamp pick or Bandcamp Friday local pick. Um oh, hashtag lame ass dads were the headliner who I don't. I'm gonna plug them just because I don't care. Who signed with Punkerton Records to release their album on vinyl, so that's available for people that
Nice.
are interested.
Yeah.
And the Boy Detective, who was my pick from last month,
Yeah, I really liked them. I don't know if you
and
listened to the episode.
yeah, I did. I
Yeah.
did. But it was weird that they were playing and it was the night that the episode aired last month. So
Oh,
the show
nice.
was on Bandcamp Friday last month.
Did
Yeah.
you let them know?
No. No,
Nah.
bro, bro, me going to a show is so like I have this weird anxiety. I basically try and talk myself out of going to shows on my way to
I do that all the
shows.
time. I do that all the
And
time.
then I don't drink anymore. So I just stand there and drink liquid death if the venue has it. And
Isn't it just
I
water?
yeah, it's just water, but it's in like a PBR can. So
So it
where
looks like beer.
normally,
So it looks like
yeah,
beer.
where normally it's a similar hand shape, so it's comfortable for me.
Got you. Got you. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I talked to a couple of guys, but yeah.
We should have told them that we talked about them because I like all those bands, right? And do you remember the one thing I said to you when what was it, lame dad punk or whatever?
Lame ass dad, you
Yeah.
just wish the bands I brought had better names.
Yeah. So them and Shitty Neighbors are two bands that I'm like, these guys should be way more popular. I wish they had, better names so they would be popular. You know what I mean?
Not
Um,
to not to blow my load from next month, but one of those bands is coming back.
all right, cool. I like it. I like it. Yeah, and I really enjoyed that band last. So that's cool. So these guys were basically it was like you know, uh Ghosts of Christmas Past, Present, and Future for you.
Right, it really was.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
and these guys like rocked it. They were well, shit. I want to say they went on second, and they had the audience really well engaged, which for a small venue with four bands playing to have good audience engagement when you're the second set of the night
Yeah,
I thought it was pretty
that's
impressive.
awesome. Yeah. Yeah. All right. You ready for what I have to say about Extra Arms? What is even
Yeah.
happening right now? The thing you were to describe them you're thinking of is they sound like Cheap Trick.
Okay,
They've
yeah.
got that Cheap Trick pop rock thing going on, and I was totally into this. Even the album cover kind of reminded me of like a Cheap Trick album. Like,
Yeah, that two-tone like
Yeah, with their
80s
faces.
vibe.
Yeah, with
Yeah.
their faces and shit. Yeah, I was into it. Their lyrics are very mental health focused, and I like that.
Yep.
Obviously, for we all know that I like that when that pops up in a song. Um, the song the I want to go back and I want to listen to the album again. I don't know if this is a concept album or not. It was because like the bookends of the song, um, they fit like it was very, you know what I'm saying? Like you got fun guy and then it ends with I don't want to die, right?
Yeah.
And I want to in between. Like at one point, I'm like, is this a concept album? Because I could feel like almost this story progression going on. I do that a lot because I'm a storyteller. Maybe it was just me. I want to go back and actually like sit down and just go through it all and see what's what. You know what I mean? But yeah, no, this was like pop, like you said, power pop, rock and roll music, man. Like stuff that energizes you, makes you kind of like bop your head and feel good. This was a solid pick from the
It's
punk as folk fucking camp this month.
it's honestly it's music I should listen to more because I'm always listening to sad, depressing fucking music. Maybe I'd be a nicer person
I
if I
mean,
listened
it's
to.
so like this music's about mental health, and it seems like there's some struggles within the songs, right? Like
Yeah,
but like it's just the way power pop works, right? It's just
the
upbeat. It's kind of like
energy.
ska, right? Like it's got that energy behind it, you
Yeah,
know. But yeah, man, solid pick.
my this album name's long.
Yeah,
So my solo artist, I actually, like I said, I in the chat, I don't know how big this guy is. I saw him on a tour with another. I think I saw him open for Tagger Army, maybe.
really.
Um,
That's
yeah,
an interesting combo. Well, yeah, that's an interesting combo.
maybe it was Social Distortion. It might have been Social Distortion. It was somebody big though. Um, and I've been in love with his music ever since.
Yeah,
Will Hosh from Nashville, Kentucky. Is Nashville in Kentucky? Yeah, from
Nashville,
Nashville. From
Nashville,
Nashville,
Tennessee.
just Tennessee.
That's all right. That's
Son
all
of
right.
son of a bitch. Um, it's a live album. It's called Live at Terminal West, 3/26/22. Um, I don't. I know I've said it before. I don't generally have like an affinity for live albums unless they're recorded in a way that I find engaging. And that tends to be the shittily recorded ones, like the ones that they just sound like they took the sound straight off the board and or through an iPhone. And that's how I felt like this album was recorded. I really like that this guy does that traditional Southern Americana, but he talks about topics that I guess I can't speak for all people in the North, but for what my people in the North would associate with, like would not associate with the South.
Right.
It's not like Southern rock. He has a flag, a flag. He has a flag about the song. He has a song about the Confederate flag on there, and that he loves being from the South, but that is not a mark of pride for him. Um, I don't know. I just dig the dude's whole vibe. He has a few albums that I really love, but I this one was newer and I loved the way it was recorded, which for me was kind of odd because I don't like live albums.
Right. Yeah, when I turned this on, I was like, this guy kind of sounds like Bob Dylan meets Greg Allman.
Yeah.
And I was like, and I wrote down New Southern Rock with a question mark. So it's much like when Chris brought Lee Baines and the Glory
Mm-hmm.
Fires. Like it's that new like that. I'm not gonna say woke because fucking I hate that fucking
Oh
term.
God.
Like but it's progressive, right? It's progressive Southern rock, and it's very It's very like it's just hey, to me it's righting the wrongs that the South are so fucking like engulfed in. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
it's just but it's definitely alt country covered in Americana with some blues guitar to top it off. If this was a cocktail, that's how I would make this drink. He's got fucking pipes too. That dude can sing.
Yeah.
Still a Southern Man, which is I think the song you were talking about.
That was the one I was
Yeah,
referring
yeah,
to. Yep.
that song fucking like I must have listened to it 10 times. It's a really good song. Um,
And I don't remember, is Thoughts and Prayers on that? So
yes, I think so.
okay.
I think so.
Thoughts
Yeah,
and Prayers is like my favorite Will Hodge song, and it's has to be a few years old at
yeah,
least. And yeah, I
yeah. I
just
know. I
really like the
I like
dude.
it.
So
I like this new Southern rock emerging. That's like not your typical fucking shit, right? It's just
right.
and like I said, I mean, I heard a lot like I heard Bob Dylan in this. I heard Greg Allman. Like like these are household names, and I hear this in this guy's music. So it's like yes, like I hope this guy can make some fucking money like those guys did.
Like I said, when I saw him on tour, it was with a larger band, and I can't remember who it was with. But so obviously people know about him, but I don't. He wasn't headlining, so I don't think enough people know about him.
Right, right. And I'm glad you brought him because then I didn't know about him till we did this. So I'll be checking out more of his stuff. And again, it goes back to like you know I don't like country music, but if you look deep enough, you will. This is something that I would like, and that's some of his songs are straight up fucking like almost pop country songs.
Right.
But it's just they're just done the way I like them. So
The Johnny Cash poster over there. I love country music as long as it's done well.
yeah. So all right. Well, those are your picks. You ready? You ready to top this
Oh,
thing
I
off
am
with mine?
very fucking ready for your pick.
Okay. For my which one? My local?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So my local is out of Norwalk, Connecticut. Not really. By way of Vancouver. Um, this album was recorded and mixed at the Factory Underground Studios in Norwalk, Connecticut. I somehow said, all right, that's my local pick because of that. The band is called the Dreadnoughts. The album is called Roll and Go. This is like traditional music, like world music, like stuff they were singing. I think Chris has mentioned this about other bands before. Stuff that's like being sung like on the boat as settlers are coming over. But it meets rock and roll. Pirate music, right? They're out of Vancouver, so there's a huge like Vancouver ports. You know what I mean? So this is stuff that you would like I would think about hearing like on one of those like a port bar, like a little tavern where people who are traveling the oceans are coming in and out of. This is that kind of music, but with a rock and roll behind it, obviously. Cluster folk.
Buster Folk.
Cluster folk. I don't think I thought of that. I think that was on their thing, right?
It's an
So
apt description.
yeah.
Yeah.
So there's I'm gonna say the name wrong, klezmer. That's another thing that they had on there, and I had to look that up. Klezmer is an instrumental musical tradition that Hasidic Jewish people of Central and Eastern Europe would listen to. So I think that's like where the accordion comes in. You know what I mean? Like, so they're taking all these different sounds and they're making it into this. And again, it just goes back to like I said, earlier settlers coming across the ocean playing their traditional music. Um, yeah, it's got elements of the traditional sound, dance tunes, ritual melodies, virtuous improvisations. This is all tied into that klezmer sound that I was talking about. Um, fantastic. It's just like songs that like that there's a band I used to listen. So I had a but when streaming first was like remember it was just Pandora
Yeah.
and Pandora like you just typed in a band name and it just generated music that would sound like that. Now the ranges are huge, right? I would get like country music on a Dropkick Murphy station because they would link it to like
They used one acoustic guitar.
yeah, well, drop.
Yeah.
They would say like, all right, so because it plays Social Distortion, that means they can get into like, they covered Johnny Cash, and Johnny Cash is a country. You know what I mean? Like they have these weird degrees of separation. And on my Dropkick Murphy, it was funny. My Dropkick Murphy station ended up being like barely any Dropkick Murphys. It was all everything else, right? It was like the Ducky Boys. It was like the Welsh Boys. It was, the Blue Bloods. There was all these bands out of Boston that I loved, and all these bands from all over the place. Like I learned about Flatfoot 56 through this one little this fucking channel, like this little Pandora channel. And one of the bands was called the Blackguards. And that's what Dreadnought, that's what they remind me of. Like it reminded me of them. Like they take like these traditional folk songs from other parts of the world and add rock and roll to it. And I was totally into it. Like this is like, grab the bottle of rum while you're fucking sailing across the sea and just swig the bottle while you're singing along with all your pirate buddies. kind of vibe. That's just what this was. The song Roll and Go was my standout track on the album. All right. What do you got?
This album has been playing on repeat for a couple weeks.
Did you see it? Did you see there's vinyl?
No, I didn't.
There's vinyl to this.
All I've been doing is listening to it. Like I haven't really looked into the band at all. At first I thought it was funny because I had brought Armada, which is pirate punk.
Yeah.
Pirate punk. I don't know because I don't understand Portuguese. But
that's what I said.
Then you brought this, and I was like, Dreadnought's a ship, and I started listening, and I got like, my description was pirate gypsy carnival music, and I'm in for every second of it. The guy's voice, he kind of reminds me of the lead singer from Gogol Bordello. That kind of raspy, like
cross between him and what's his name from Flock and Molly?
Dave King, yeah.
Dave
yeah,
King.
Kind of. Yeah. And dude, I just find everything about this band engaging. Like, I mean, I have a love for the ocean and pirates, and I love the idea of leading a gypsy life, and like this whole album just brings those two things together for me. I don't know, and it might just be me drawing shit out of thin air, but I absolutely love it. Like this music is what I imagine I would want my life to sound like if I could choose the soundtrack for it.
Nice.
Yeah, they're super good.
Nice.
I don't know where Vancouver is.
You
said it has a port, so I'm guessing by the ocean.
Yeah. It's like the Pacific Northwest, but Canada.
Oh, it's like Canada, Seattle.
Yeah. It's like Canada, Seattle. Yeah. Well, I'm glad you liked it. I'm glad you had something to say.
This was my favorite pick. This was probably my favorite pick in a few months.
Really? That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's
dude,
awesome.
This was awesome.
Well, they have a dope looking vinyl for it too.
I'm gonna grab it. Actually,
it might even be two. It might even be two records. So, my X Factor out of Alberta, Canada, is Seth Anderson's single "Big Red Sun." I had another pick, and it was a single, and then after going to see, so Seth played with Off With Their Heads. Not like he didn't open for them, like he's in part of this ensemble of Off With Their Heads that's going on right now, which is basically 2 acoustics, a little bit of drumming, and a little bit of synth. And they played a couple of Seth songs as well. And fantastic. This fantastic music. I don't know. We followed each other before. We like, I don't know. We're Instagram like buddies or whatever. Not buddies, but like, like we both followed each other on Instagram. So I don't know if it was because of the podcast or because of Off With Their Heads or what, but I had heard his music before. I'm like, this is pretty good. And then like, I didn't put the connection that they were like he was the Seth Anderson on tour with him until like 2 days before the show. I'm like, oh shit. So I had an original pick, and then after seeing him perform with them, I decided I wanted to move it. So I moved it to his latest single, because at the time it was like a few days before, right? So I didn't want to
Right.
give you guys a whole album to listen to, even though we could have, because it was 2 weeks away and no one's here but you and I. So but yeah, no, so Seth Anderson's single Big Red Sun, it's like alt country indie rock kind of sounding. He does his own thing, you know. That song hit me in the feels. It's about it, like he kind of writes a little blurb about like when he wrote the song and like where he was in his life, and it kind of reminded me of when I was living out in Pittsburgh when I first got there. So I, you know, it was totally into it. um I met him at the show. I ended up talking to him a little bit after the show, and I picked up his record. He was like breaking down the stage, and Kyle from Off of Their Heads was selling merch, and I said, "Hey, can I buy Seth's record from you?" He was like, "Yeah." So I bought it. Um, I can't say enough good about it. His album is was it? Oh man, I forgot the name of it. Is it We Could Be?
I'm going there right now
I think it's
because
called We Could Be, and it's really good. The fucking his full album is fucking awesome, and I got it on. Like I said, I bought it on vinyl. Um, I can't say enough that this guy should be like, I actually, he might be popular. I don't know. I feel like he should be way more famous, but again, I don't know. You know, like, you know what I mean? Like he could be, and I just didn't know. Music's great. I'm gonna try to get him on the podcast because I think he might do it. You know,
it is We Could Be.
very good album, very good album. And it's funny,
Yeah,
right? So it's got this like alt country, like indie kind of rock vibes to it, like Americana almost. But like I've seen some interviews with him, like punk news. I want to use news like in quotes, like punk news publications have like been interviewing him. So I don't know where, like, other, I mean, he's on tour with Off of Their Heads, so there's got to be, you know, I don't know where that would lie into his music, other than it's just his own music, right? It's not it's honest music.
this yeah. I had never heard of him before, and I was super stoked with this pick too. It's another one that's just right up my alley. Like I enjoy, like you said, kind of alt country. I mean, we both brought a few. I like. I feel like I'm more into that currently than straight up punk. I want something where there like some crossover. And this, I went back and listened to some more of his music, and yeah, everything's super solid. This
Yeah,
was another stellar pick.
I was pumped, and to get like him as part of this like you know, this current like status of what Off of Their Heads is too, was just phenomenal, you know.
Yeah,
And it was cool to see, like, Ryan was very like, hey, we're gonna do a couple Seth songs too. So, you know, he was talking to people from Boston, so he was like, be nice.
be nice.
You know. But the crowd, I could tell the crowd loved him. The crowd loved his songs, you know.
Yeah,
So I mean, it's great. I'm glad to see these kind of things happening, you know. But I guess that's it, man. Are we good?
yeah. We ripped through them. I feel like we did a good job.
I think
We,
so.
we
I think, hey,
concise,
that's it. We can always, you
poorly
know,
prepared, fucking concise,
this would have
to
been
the
really bad if it was
point.
just me. If you if you didn't show up, I would have been struggling through this thing all by myself. So
All Michael's notes are on a dead laptop somewhere.
it's all right. We made it through. We made it through, man.
I hope
Um
everybody appreciates this. We really had a hard time pulling our shit together this month.
yeah, we did. Yeah, we did. Next month is October, obviously. And
Halloween, buddy.
I think we're gonna have a special guest for that one.
I hope so.
Stay tuned. Stay tuned for that. I don't know whose turn it is to pick. Is it your turn to pick?
I think it might be. It can't be my turn to pick in October because I'm gonna just pick like horror punk. Like, yeah.
Pick something right now.
Yeah, it has to be spooky, dude. It has to be Halloween themed. I
All
love
right,
Halloween.
spooky themed is for next month. Anyone who listens to this month, if you got any suggestions for spooky themed music, hit us up, right?
Yeah.
Hit us up on Instagram. You can find me at podcast TSA. You can find Chris at
CC Chavez 13.
CC Chavez 13. Hit up Jeff at the dirty
30 DB cast.
Dirty DB cast on Instagram is where you can find Jeff Bousquet of Dirty Decibels podcast. Michael,
We're
what is
all super awesome, just not awesome enough to get our Instagram handles to actually be the whole thing.
Yeah. What is your Instagram handle, Michael?
It's Punk A Folk.
Punk A Folk. So if you guys have any spooky themed songs you want us to listen to and possibly bring to the table, hit us up. Let us know what they are. Check out our respected shows wherever you listen to podcasts or on YouTube for Michael. Michael is now part of the Eclective Podcast Network, which is
which I could not be more excited about.
Which is a little podcast network we threw together. It's got some awesome shows on there. It's a couple YouTube shows. Michael, your show's like the only one that does what you do, like with the tech reviews and the album stuff. And
I thought you were gonna say fucking nothing.
You've been busy. Whatever. You'll get back to
just like not doing stuff.
You know what you need? You need a producer. You need someone to say this is what you're going to be doing this month.
I very much do. I need somebody.
I'll do that.
To
I will tell you. This is the album you're going to review.
Kick me in line and I feel like I should apologize to everybody that sends me albums, and because I do listen to them all, and then I just keep listening to them instead of actually writing anything down.
Are they all records? They send you all records?
No, like digital copies.
Oh.
Who was it? Somebody sent me. Oh, fuck. Beyond the Lamplight, dude.
They're awesome.
Have you checked it? Yeah, that is.
They are really fucking good.
And I totally said, I was like, yeah, I'll put this on my webpage. And then I never did.
Oh.
I should do that this weekend.
You should. That's a fucking good album. Those guys are going to blow up.
Yes, they are. I love Flail Records. So
Flail Records has some good bands over there. So, all right. Well, let's get out of here. We're taking up enough of their time with just you and I. Yeah. Until next month, take care of yourselves. Michael, I hope you have a good weekend, you muscle-bound freak.
I will try.
All right. See ya.
I will very much try.